I gotta look shocked and excited when I watch it with whoever.
I don't care. I'm not watching it. Just do it.
Do it!
You wanna hurt me? You wanna hurt me?
Come over.
Oh god, I think I found it.
Kern, I don't have much left, so please don't ruin this for me.
Oh
I
god.
watch it with me.
Yep.
I'm kidding. Which one's better, John? Cinnamon
The one with the vanilla bean. For sure.
You put. Oh wait, there was a vanilla bean.
Yeah, I put a whole vanilla bean in here.
That's a good intro to
wait.
the stream.
And so
I've never seen a real
beans and
vanilla
spoilers.
bean. Is that a
been-
real
it's-
vanilla bean?
yeah, it's been sitting in for a full day.
Holy shit.
And I actually don't taste the alcohol in this.
Well, keep drinking it and see how you feel in
No!
20 minutes.
Oh no! No!
Drunk stream. It's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
yeah,
I
probably.
said, I got my wine.
You're drinking wine?
I am. Fancy
filter over here.
During our
Damn.
break, whenever we decide to take one, I'm gonna go change out the vanilla bean.
Your mother.
You're not slinged, by the way.
Wow.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I'm all out of it. Yay!
You're mobile.
Yay!
Kind of. I don't have the strength yet. It's really sad how the difference in.
You can actually
is.
kind of tell on the webcam. Holy
Yeah, you
fuck.
can see it.
I feel
Your
for you,
left arm
man.
is defined.
Wait,
This
John.
Well, you know
definitely-
what to do, buddy. You know
Wait,
what to do
John.
with that arm.
Let's see.
No!
John, let's
God damn
see
it.
if the arm moves in the breeze.
Carl's
Where's he
Rachel,
going?
get your mind out of the gutter.
Oh. John, let's see if your arm
Wow.
billows in the breeze. It does!
Your arm! Check your arm! Check your arm here now!
My foreskin!
Okay, so anyway, that was a fun introduction. Hopefully we're still on Twitch.
I'm a dex-paced fighter.
So,
God.
episode 6. Vast
Fuck, I gotta pull my
Worlds.
shit right now.
During the last episode of the campaign, the team started the morning of Thursday the 10th in Briar's boarding house, expecting breakfast as they normally do, only to find that he wasn't home. As Felix grabbed a to-go mug of stew, they were met at the door by Janice, who was ready to take them back to his mother's garden house in the woods. After a few conversations along the way, attempting to get Janice to loosen up, the group finally arrived where they had first met each other and spent some time gazing upon a flower bed with Char and Mally, while Arkul kept an eye out on Janice after his suspicions were a bit piqued. Once Janice had begun searching the wooded area behind the shed, Arkul decided it best that he investigate the scene with him, and where he soon found himself face to face with an amethyst-skinned dragon.
Well,
Yeah.
oh.
Immediately humbled, Arkul knelt before him as he was approached by the dragon's rider, an older captain of the Cardi military nicknamed Ginny. The well-armored man and his number 2 in command, a young woman in light clothing named Diana, they were traveling in search of their missing reconnaissance drone. Once the group had confessed to defeating the machination, Ginny insisted he apologize to their town leader, as it was never the intention of the drone to attack innocent people. The team, who had decided that Janice was better off looking for his mother on his own, left with Ginny and Diana to introduce them, to introduce the strange pair to Briar, and get his thoughts on the matter. With some hidden conversations between Heath the dragon and Arkul, the team arrived in Alanda Vale and found Briar purchasing supplies for their lunch with the Davidsons for later that day. The team overheard Ginny say that one priest can always recognize another to Briar, before they both went inside to talk privately, a discussion which was overheard in full by Char and Mally. Ginny made it very clear that Cardi was looking for both expansion of their territory as well as talented and eager young adventurers in need of gold, and thought that Alanda Vale might fit both of those needs. whereas Briar attempted to defend the simpler life of the Vale and its mundane ways that were a lot of the things that made it home for him as well as many others that lived there, and kindly asked Ginny to leave. On their way out of town, Ginny saw that young Max Connington had the precious Arachnarok stone, which had immediately captured his interest. After the party members had left the scene, the 4 adventurers went inside Briar's house to talk with him privately about what just happened, while Rigurd returns from the forest where the dragon was waiting for his rider. So where things are right now, Rigurd, he just had a pretty brief conversation with Ginny and Diana before they mounted up on Heath and then took off to the sky.
Right.
The other 4 of you are going inside Briar's house with him. Arkul had a real short and sweet conversation with Briar before Briar suggested it would probably be better to get everybody inside and get on the same page. So we will start. It's about 12, about noon in the day, because it's a bit of a walk out to their private property in the woods, and you guys went out and walked back. Goodness gracious. So Briar and Arkul step out of his boarding house, and Briar he looks at Felix Char and Hadrian, and he's like, oh, now, would y'all come inside for a minute? I think we best have a little talk here.
I think so too.
Yeah, the crowd wasn't really feeling my stand-up comedy routine.
It wasn't bad though.
And you can still hear Max off in the distance. You stink!
Oh!
You stink!
like that little dunk noise when he throws a rock at Felix.
By the way, guys, I would like to take some time to just talk about this really nice dice case that I have here. It's a dice vault, actually.
Oh my
It's
god!
magnetic.
That's so weird. I have one too. Oh my god.
Wow.
Where did you get it?
Wow.
It's from this place called Stormcraft Woodworks. They have really
Stormcraft
thick
Woodworks.
wood. Yeah.
What a unique name!
I know. I wonder who those guys are. They might be on Etsy. Very nice.
You should send
Anyway,
me a link
yeah.
to the Etsy shop.
And Briar's like,
We can comment.
Shameless. Shameless.
Briar is like, what the hell is Etsy?
Like and subscribe, dude.
Yeah, Briar's just staring Felix like, hard wood.
I'm not sure what I was talking. I was just practicing new material. Anyway, what were you guys talking about in here?
Come on in, we'll get you caught up. So I'll invite you guys in. So he'll pick up a few of his grocery totes that he had left by the door when Ginny first came to his boarding house. He had just like arrived with the different materials he was going to use to make lunch for the Davidsons, and he set everything inside so he could have a chance to talk with you guys as well as Ginny and Diana. So he has his bags and he walks through the dimly lit halls back to the kitchen where he tends a little bit to the stew, kind of like wafting the smells, seeing where it's at. And he's not looking at you guys at the moment. He's putting all of his cooking ingredients on the counter and starts wiping off some of his knives and other cutting materials. And you can hear him softly chopping in the background as this conversation goes on. So, who wants to catch me up?
I think you should catch us up first, because you seem to know those guys.
I did not know them at all, Miss Chaw. You knew them better than me.
Really, the only thing that happened was we went to meet Mrs. Davidson in the garden, and she wasn't there. Janice went off by himself, and we stumbled upon a dragon and a rider. That's basically what happened.
And they didn't mention anything that might have seemed a little off to you, or you thought to
Well-
bring them to town?
They pretty much really wanted to come to town because they were scouting for people. But they were pretty pushy about coming with us because they were the ones that sent out the drone that we found. That attacked us.
And we, out of character, we noticed that he was intrigued by the stone, right? We noticed that
Oh, yeah.
Jinwoo was okay.
Well, one thing that seemed a little troubling, it almost seemed as if they wanted to not necessarily conquer. I'm not really familiar with politics, but it definitely seemed like they were interested in the stone that you guys have underneath the town. The spider stone, or whatever it was called.
Ragnarok, yeah, well...
He seemed very intrigued when Max pulled that out. The stone, I mean.
I wouldn't claim to know all the properties of that stone or why other people might want it, but... And he's scooping his cut ingredients into the giant pot as you guys are still talking. I suspect he was looking for a reason to find us, and maybe the drone was the way in, maybe it was his foot in the door, and maybe now the rock is the impetus he will use to convince that, what did he say? That caravan. Maybe that's what he'll use.
It definitely seemed. It seemed as if he was going to lure people to.
I'm blanking on the name. The Empire.
Cardi.
What's the name of their?
Party.
He seemed as if he was trying to lure people to Cardi so that a foothold could be established here. I'm not very, like I said, I'm not very familiar with politics or borders, but I don't think there were any harsh intentions, but I'm not very well versed with politics. I don't know how to explain it.
And what was all of that about him calling you a priest?
That too. You got
Nice one, Felix. Nice one.
Got him. Calm him down, then lead in.
And Briar just kind of like shakes his head. Well, and he looks up a little. He stops cutting and he looks up for a little bit. It's not as dramatic as all that. I mean, I can start with that bit, and he continues cutting again. Priests serve a very important role across this continent. You'll probably come to know them as you see them. They are. They are more of a traveling guide, if you will. So many of them do not stay in one town for very long. It practically hinges off of the fact that they travel from town to town and act as low-level mediators. So, for the most part, yes, we can recognize one another. I wish I could.
Would Felix have ever seen or encountered a traveling priest in his stronghold of Fiery Ruin?
Make a general intelligence check.
All right, that's at 6.
Oof.
Ooh.
He is trying to think of somebody who would fit the bill of the things that. I almost said Beliar. He's trying to fit the bill of things that Briar is describing.
Oh, G-Lore! No one knows except me and you.
And Felix he's just not putting anything together. And
So-
I've never really heard of those sorts of priests before. It sounds kind of intriguing.
they serve a very important role in certain societies where they go in and, although we are not, I am not anymore, where they are not necessarily recognized by any sort of governing body or leaders. They're not really recognized in that regard, but they can act as low-level mediators, as somebody who can play a neutral party to small affairs. And most people are very, very welcoming to that level of help.
So you guys are priests. What god do you serve, or what order are you a part of? What is the name of your assembly?
Well, I don't know if I'd call it an assembly. And he takes a big breath. Leans back to kind of look up again.
Deep lore nuggets.
You all right there, Felix? What'd you say?
Sorry, I was just hungry. I was thinking of chicken nuggets.
What is a chick anyway?
Chicken's nuggets. What?
Yeah, so you can see him trying to figure out how to articulate this, because he's never really had to, or it seems like he's never had to explain it before. You get the feeling that he's where he's gone in his life that people understood.
And I think that's why Felix is so intrigued. He's just like, this is cool. Never heard of this before. Tell me about it. He's just excited.
Yeah, and he's looking up, trying to just figure out the words to say. Well, they don't worship gods per se. You guys mentioned he had a dragon, that Ginny had a dragon with him, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, like right before this.
Okay.
Ooh, music.
I know that one picked up for me too.
Yeah.
Almost all of the priests generally follow the powers and the beliefs of different dragons. And when you say dragon, I'm gonna have to assume for a bit that this wasn't one of them. I think, and what they're known as is they're known as dragonale riders. They are ones who are chosen, almost hand-picked, or claw-picked, if you will, by their chosen dragon leader to be able to bond with one of their kind. There are different levels, I suppose, of dedication into the practice, and most of us fall in the most of the priests fall into the category of where I was, and that was just a low level. I did follow a dragon. I did at once feel the call to him, but that is no longer the case. Most of us fall into that category of kind of peripheral follower, where we go town to town, we exchange favors in exchange for time with them to speak our word of the dragon. And
So do you know of the legend of Mornth?
And he'll nudge Rigurd.
I'm not in the building. I'm still walking back from.
Fuck. Well, he'll nudge Air. He'll look to Rigurd, but Rigurd's not there.
By the way, Joe, I'm not sure if you got my text, but just tell me when I come back to the
Deep
back to the
Gorgles.
building.
I don't check my phones or Discord when I'm streaming.
Bitch, at the start of this, you told us don't message you on Discord. Text you if you need to do anything.
I did not
like...
say that. I said I might notice my phone. I never said text me. And Briar's said, no. No, no. More that doesn't sound familiar to me. There are different dragons on the level of the ones that I worshipped at one point and the one that Jenny probably worshipped. Do you know? Did you see his dragon? Do you know what color it was, or?
It was the purple amethyst dragon. Smaller than most dragons, but still rideable, which still very weird to me.
His name was Heath.
Yeah, dragons, they come in different shapes and sizes, and he looks at Arkul. You know, you should know that. And he looks at Felix. Well, that wasn't an insult. I was just saying they come in different sizes.
Dragons are highly revered in my culture, so I just think it's amazing that I get to encounter such wonder.
Would I know any of this information that you're saying?
About priests.
About like the dragon hierarchies and like not necessarily priesty stuff, but like.
Yeah, I mean, Arkul would have.
Would I at least have an idea?
Well, I mean, Arkul would have the intelligence that dragons aren't just born gigantic. I mean, they have to spawn and live and grow and die. They might be revered as gods, but they're not literal gods.
Divine beings, yeah.
Yeah. And, okay. So...
And so where does this Ginny come in? Was he a priest along with you, or how does he know you?
No, not if his dragon was purple. That's kind of the first indication. Is make a persuasion check, Arkul. I'll give you advantage because you guys are all asking him.
Ooh, advantage, yay!
Do it. Roll good.
You said persuasion?
Yeah.
Fuck. Not bad. 16.
That's pretty good.
I was gonna say we got that charisma buff, baby.
+1.
So Briar he's thinking about like, you know, do I really want to divulge this? And you can
divulge it.
You can hear him muttering a little bit under his breath, like, "Well, I guess I ain't a priest anymore." So yeah, they're all. Each priest dedicates themselves to one of 4 greater dragons, and as a collective, I suppose they are known as the Scales of Justice. And so,
I like how you paused because you knew, dude.
And he goes,
"Oh, lore.
Purple, or as I am to understand it, amethyst. The amethyst dragon. He goes by Alar. Now I can't remember. That was short for something. I can't remember. I worshipped an emerald dragon. I do know his name, but I don't fit right to speak it. It doesn't quite feel right to me, and I don't do a whole lot that doesn't feel right. So we generally refer to him as the Iron Duke. And he's thinking a bit. There was emerald, amethyst, there was a sapphire dragon. His name, Anchor. We called him Anger. Something Anger. I don't remember him. And the last one was.
God, this music is so sick.
The last one, not very many priests would talk about that one, even if they needed to spread the word. You had to earn it from them. It was very different, and I can't say I've ever seen a dragon like that before, or even really heard a description. All I know is that while the other dragons rule the air and the land, the sea even, this last one, he ruled the underground. And he just, I don't know. That one never quite vibed right with me. There's just something about it, and he looks back at all of you guys, and you're all just kind of like.
Well, this is the information I was asking if I would know anything about this kind of stuff.
Like about the dragons themselves.
Yeah, like would being from a village of dragon people, would I know about these dragon gods?
Right,
Aside
like
from
the
what-
hierarchy.
Okay, now I got you.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like biological.
No, not biological.
Okay.
When a mommy daddy, or when a mommy dragon and a daddy dragon.
When a mommy daddy.
When a, never mind.
So you said
What
it's
about-
the
what about a
scales
daddy
of
mummy?
what?
The scales of justice.
Wow.
Justice.
Wow.
I was never aware that there were more dragons than Mornth. That was the only dragon I ever heard of growing up.
No, there's thousands of dragons. More than you
He's
could probably
quite-
count.
Interesting.
He starts counting on his fingers. He knows Arkul. He knows he knows.
More.
Like the four that he just heard. Yeah, he's like, all right.
Oh shit.
Arkul, make a history check.
Oh, assist, I'm feeling lucky.
Do it.
10.
God, the song is so gnarly.
Arkul, he's thinking back, and he knows the biology of dragons and how they live and die, and then he knows that there are sets of very powerful dragons. I would say it is news to him that there are followers of that they can reach a point where. Actually, this would be a kind of a revelation for Arkul in general, that there are other people other than the scaled kind of Dragonsvale that worship dragons in this way.
Yeah, because I'm also like I'm trying to figure out like, oh, how's all this connect to Bahamut and everything?
Yeah, and so Briar looks back at you guys, all kind of
music.
stunned a little bit. He's like, well, maybe I've said a bit too much here. Is there? Y'all have any questions for me, or?
I wasn't aware that you were a traveling priest of sorts. That's quite fascinating.
Yeah, well, and he gestures to his arms a little bit, which, if you guys remember, he has he does not have the same like general appearance as the rest of the people within Alanda Vale. He's like, now that he's holding his arms out, you guys can see he's almost pure white skin, whereas everybody else in the town is kind of that tan mocha skin color, and they all have the same kind of brownish brunette looking hair, and he has his short brim straw hat, and he gestures down, and he's like, well, you know, I did quite a bit of traveling, and heard the call of the Iron Duke at some point, and did what I could, and then I found my way to Alanda Vale and just fell in love. This is a wonderful, wonderful small town. I've been all over, and none quite struck a chord with me the way this one did.
It is quite a nice place. I do think about my home, though, sometimes.
Yeah.
I realized the other day that this is probably the longest I've ever been away from home. I don't know about you guys, but I don't really get out much.
Next
And-
step I take is the furthest I've ever been away from home.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
it's been like 2 days.
Well, I mean,
In
shit.
work. No, I
it's
know.
still-
I got you.
He's never like slept anywhere besides his home
Yeah.
in 60 years of life.
In Briar. Now, tell me, Felix, you're from the Stronghold, ain't you?
Yes, that's where I'm from.
Well, they have their own structure there, don't they? I'm wondering.
We have multiple structures.
Now, do you mean literal structures like buildings?
Yes, we have monuments of sorts.
That's not what I meant. I meant structures of like social hierarchies.
Somewhat. I mean, our culture is mostly devised of, hunters and then those that don't really hunt, and he kind of like shies up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. And Briar is like he's thinking. Yeah. Yeah, man. I've been to one of the fire runes, and they treated me really well over there. And we'll say at this point, Rigurd comes in the front door, and waddles his way back to the kitchen. And so
Yes, our village is quite welcoming, but coming through and stealing all our stuff
As Rigurd walks in.
What? What's going on? Why does everyone look so serious?
We were just
And we fill
discussing
Rigurd in
some
and everything.
things.
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
feel
I
Rigurd.
was literally about to say, we discussed it.
Yeah.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, and Briar's he's still preparing this stew while he's about got everything in the pot at this point.
Stew.
I hate to think that Janice is out there all by himself. Because we don't know where Elizabeth is.
I was meaning to talk to him about that.
And we gotta think where she might be, and now I gotta worry about Cardi coming and knocking on our front door.
I think it's safe to assume that they'll be here sooner rather than later. I don't know if their intentions are ill, but it definitely seemed like they wanted something from here.
Well, the promise of fortune and gold from the big city it has its merits. It can go very well. It can lead to expansion and higher learning and all those things, but it costs you the old ways of life in the regard of growing, and you never know up front if that's good or not.
And I why you stopped on the path of priesthood.
Well, I once felt the call in that spreading the message of the Iron Duke was the way to go, and I went from town to town, and I felt I did my part. And he's an older guy. He's like,
Yeah.
I wanted to settle down for a bit, and this place, Elanda Vale, was remarkably welcoming to me.
In an effort to stall, if you will, the members of Cardi from exploring, what do you think of us going down there and saying that they were looking for adventurers? What do you think of us going down there and volunteering our services if they stay away from your land?
Well, I'm and you like caught Briar off guard. I mean, I wouldn't say that was completely out of my mind of options, but y'all got lives of your own, ain't you? Yeah, you would do that for this town?
I think we're all wanting to discover why we were brought here in the first place.
He does have a point.
I miss home, but this is definitely the most excitement that I've ever experienced.
With no knowledge of how we got here and how we can get back, we need something to do to maybe try and spark some interest of some story. We need some information on how we can maybe get back.
Well, I mean,
As long as there's coin in it for me, I'm always up for an adventure.
I also want to figure out why I can do this.
And he summons minor illusion like the digital dagger.
I don't understand.
and Briar is just he doesn't really have an answer for that one. Well,
It's just like floating there, like.
It's on display.
It's like a Minecraft fucking sprite of a dagger.
like the wooden sword.
No, it's literally
like
trash.
Just 8-bit, not even 64.
Just imagine a commoner casting spells. There you go.
Point being, I think we can all agree that we left our home at pivotal moments, but was there a purpose behind it? And I think it's something, and I've come to like being around these group of. I think we need to explore our personal connections as well, and what we are in as a group.
I've never really had a group of friends like this before.
Felix gets a little weepy.
Well, I suppose that's something for y'all to talk about. I suppose.
Well, if we go to Kadi, and we would go as your ambassador, we would have to basically barter with the city leaders. So I'd rather be aligned before, I'd rather be aligned with you on a plan of action. If you want us to stay here, and if they bring soldiers, do we fight them? I just want to be aligned on how we are going to support this town.
Well, if they're bringing soldiers, I don't think there's a chance in hell we'll be able to fight them off.
Exactly, which is why I'd rather go down there first.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
Do you really think that the Cardi people will listen to a group of random people from, a village?
Question for DM.
Mm-hmm.
The stone that he was staring at, are those the ones that I have too?
Yeah.
Yes. So
The Arachnarok.
The same kid who gave the stone, because I
missed the end of the episode. I didn't know what they were.
Right. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
So the Max had another stone of Arachnarok. And Hadrian would have seen this. He gave a stone to Diana, who she was like, oh, and she tossed it over to Ginny.
Yeah.
He knew what it was and asked little Max where they got it from, and he told him.
He seemed like real mine, like he's like they're trying to mine it almost, is what I inferred.
Well,
fucking evil fucks.
Okay, that gives me something. Cool, thanks.
You can't take our backwater town.
I think walking down there and just having a chat and seeing what they want, and what they're willing to take to leave you guys alone, if anything, gives us a baseline of what we need to do, depending on what their choice is.
Well, I know I offered to help set up the caravan or work with the caravan, and they told me no, they didn't need any of our help.
It definitely seems like Cardi is well established if they have people riding dragons.
Sure.
We could all go down as more of like diplomacy party?
Yeah, that was what I was suggesting.
I've never been to the big city before. I think it'd be actually kind of fun.
I'd be willing to go, and I think Mally would too.
She puts on like a judge's robe and like that white powdered wig with a gavel.
We are the scales of justice now.
Hell yeah.
And
Well, I vote that we go.
He puts his hand in, like the team, like, put your hands in, motherfucking shit. He puts his hand in.
Rar will put her hand in.
My
I'm
hand.
all for it.
Should we do it?
did Hadrian?
Yes.
Come on, Rigurd.
He'll lower
say,
the
Rigurd's just
hands.
doing this shit, like...
He will lower the pile of hands to Rigurd's level.
and Mally will she'll scurry down Char's hand with the little gavel, and she will ping on the pile of hands.
Oh my god, dude.
Ow!
This is it, dude. This is the moment. This is the Oath in the Garden moment.
You have scales! That's not gonna hurt!
The Oath in the Garden
Gotta
moment
give the
happens
mouse some
in
confidence
every...
here.
I try to make these moments happen in every campaign. The Oath in the Garden moment. Every time. I try it every time.
What are you calling it?
You
The
can
Oath of
have
the
my
Guard?
sword.
Okay, so there's this book called The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. It's like this
Nerd.
ancient Chinese text about these three kingdoms, and the protagonist kingdom, Shu, the three leaders of Shu meet in a garden, and they take an oath in the garden to be like, we're gonna fucking fuck shit up, and be like, great, and they pledge. It's like these kinds of
Yeah.
let's fucking pledge to work together and do it. It's just called the Oath in the Garden. So I always
think
try to do
he's-
Oath in the Garden moments for a campaign.
I just think he's making up a whole bunch of shit to reference Lord of the Rings and building the Fellowship.
It-
I was gonna say,
no.
yeah!
Actually, a lot of it, the reason I know about Romance of the Three Kingdoms is the Dynasty Warriors franchise. Literally, they have 9 games, and it's the Oath in the Garden is the first scene anytime you play as a Shu character. So
This
there you
book
go.
is 672 pages.
It's outrageous. There's
Did
so
you
much
read
shit
it?
that goes on. I haven't read it in its entirety, but I've read excerpts and stuff because I was how legit is this book? And it's pretty cool. There's a lot of history. It's history and myth in one kind of.
That's a
It's
goddamn
ancient Chinese
chronicle.
history. It's very
Yeah.
cool. Very
Shout out.
badass. Anyway, we just oathed in the stew room.
A gentleman's agreement. Huzzah!
Oath in the Garden, baby.
And
yeah,
my
Let's
axe.
go.
Yeah.
And my oath.
Briar looks back, and you guys can see detectable respect in his eyes.
Hell yeah.
And he goes, well, that's a heck of a thing to do for a town that, y'all have only been here for a couple days, and here you are willing to maybe put your lives on the line, and, well,
Wait, what?
it's not my place to say.
Lives on the line?
And Briar's like, well, I mean, I don't know Cardi all that well, but the adventure
Felix-
there could be
We've
perilous.
been attacked by bees and a
Is it
drone, and you're
dangerous?
worried about your life now.
I mean, I've never really had to fight for my life before until 2 days ago.
We still all had our hands in on the pile, and then he mentions danger, and Felix is just like,
No, he's not backing out.
No, I know.
But he, you know what I mean? He's just visibly oh fuck.
Yeah.
So, Brian, what we'll do is we'll go down there. We'll come up with a proposal to make about them in some capacity leaving you alone, and then we'll also get an idea of what this caravan is.
Well, how long?
You tell me how long we'll be gone. I don't know how long the journey is.
Where is Cardi?
Well, that's that's kind of where things might take a turn here. Cardi is quite a ways south, and it's not impossible for y'all to walk there, and it's about a week's journey.
Okay.
And
A week?
yeah.
Well, you've told one of us before that we're 3 months walk away from our home, so
Yeah.
I think we can stomach a week.
Well,
May have to longer later.
there are groups that'll travel from place to place together, and I don't think they're any more formidable than y'all are, and maybe less so even. So I suppose if they can make it, then y'all should too. Let me talk to the town and get let me see. I love this town and I love the people in it, but maybe they don't want me deciding this kind of thing for them. So maybe we can have them kind of get their ideas together. Maybe y'all can get y'all ideas together, and we'll see what the town decides.
That sounds reasonable.
Oh boy. And he's looking. Yeah, I know y'all left Janice back in the barn, but Gregor should have stopped by. I know it's kind of a nice little segue there, but Gregor loves this stew, and I can't think of a reason he would miss it, and I'm a little troubled. Do y'all have anything else that we need to talk about?
No, I believe
I
we
actually-
covered everything.
I actually wanted to say one thing. Shar told me that you told her to cover her horns, and I don't think that that's very nice. Because people look how they look, and it doesn't matter what they look like. It matters what they do.
Aww.
Mally like caressing the flower that Felix gave her.
No, he's gonna.
I might not know too much about the world, but
He's gonna take the flower out of his ear, hand it to Briar.
I do know that it's not about what you look like. It's about how you treat people.
And Briar, he stares at Felix for quite a while, like maybe 10-15 seconds, which it doesn't sound like a long time, but when you're staring somebody
That's
down,
long as fuck.
Oh,
it's
God.
very long.
That's the longest stare.
Yeah.
Is it just like direct eye contact, or
Yeah.
And Felix will definitely. He's gonna definitely. The gumption is gone. He's just like, oh,
Yeah, no, he's
definitely Tibbet after that.
he's not. It's not like a disappointed stare. He's just trying to read something off of Felix. He's looking for a reaction. Felix, there are many people in this world that do not believe what you just said. No matter how nice you are to them, no matter what you say, they will never come to agreement with that statement. What I said to Miss Chaw was not one out of disgust. It was not one out of insult. It was one out of defensive curiosity, as well as a means for her to hopefully protect herself, as well as y'all, now that you're one. Along the way, and I've expressed this to Arkul here. I could not possibly sit here and detail accounts of all the things that you're gonna see in your journey. And I've been around, I've met a lot of people, and I think y'all are gonna go farther than you realize. A lot farther. And there are people who will look at Miss Char, but not you, Arkul. There are people who will look at Miss Char and they will assume the worst. They will think the worst. They will express the worst, and they will do the worst because of people like her. And I don't mean that in a personality kind of way. And he looks at Char and Mally. Miss Char is as sweet as sugar. I know that, and I believe that, and I will defend that. But I can't go with y'all. I can't be the one to. My days of mediation are over. This is my home now. And taking old man's advice for what it's worth, you don't have to, but it'll save you a whole lot of trouble if Miss Cha does in fact conceal her horns. Probably a little better than. Is that my curtain?
We thought it was really pretty. You can have it back if you need it.
Let me talk to the Tanner. If I caused you any offense, Miss Shaw, I do apologize. That was not my intent. And I believe along the way, you'll realize why that is.
Well, we've just never experienced this before. And
Well, with all due respect, y'all have never left home before. The whole world ain't like home.
I guess that's something that is difficult for me to fathom. But at the same time, I've experienced it in my own home, so I think that's why it struck a nerve for me.
And Briar looks right over Felix now, and he puts his hand on your shoulder, Felix. Felix, there was nothing wrong about what you did. You should always stick up for what you think is right. You should be proud.
He's proud of himself as fuck.
So I have a mighty headache. Why don't we sit down and eat as a family, and y'all can check on Gregor. Maybe he'll show up. And we'll go from there. How about that?
I like that.
All right. Soup's on. He fills up some bowls for you guys.
Rigurd's bowl is the first one out, just like.
Yeah, we'll say you guys go through the lunch sequence. Do you guys want to take a break now or in a little bit?
No.
Okay.
I have to pee,
Yeah,
but before we break, I just need to highlight how deep that conversation was and how fucking cool that was. Like, we literally just touched on, it doesn't matter how you fucking look, it matters what you do. Like, how cool is that? Good job, everybody. Wow.
I agree.
Wholesome as fuck.
All right. Let's say 10 minutes, and we'll come back.
I'm just gonna go pee. I'll literally be back in
Be right back.
5 seconds. fuck, what was that perk? Where you could literally just like change your class like on the
One-man
fly,
army.
and it would give you extra.
Yep.
Fuck that, dude. Fuck that, and fuck tactical nukes. It changed how people played the game, and it made it so not fun
The
anymore.
nukes were
God,
stupid, but
fucking-
I would one-man army and fucking search and destroy. Claymore.
Piece of
Claymore.
shit.
And then I'd
Fuck you.
switch classes
Literally
to
fuck you.
C4, and I'd throw C4
Literally
in front of
fuck
one
off.
claymore, and I'd throw C4 in front of another claymore. And so
You
they'd
probably
be like,
killed me like 80 times, like unknowingly.
Probably. I was really fucking good at that. Dual Rangers, dude.
Oh,
Like,
you piece
It
of
was
shit.
so amazing.
1887s, bro.
The spaz was so good.
I did love the spaz. That was actually like an objectively good gun. It's still good. I mean, shit, the spaz is still a great gun in all the
Yeah.
CODs.
I forget what were the missions called, and it was like the co-op campaign missions or whatever for Modern Warfare 2.
No Russian.
No, that
it
was
the
that's one of the main missions. He means the
yeah,
co-op
I
that's
stuff.
think you're
campaign.
thinking.
Oh,
I
you're
think you're
talking
thinking
co-op.
about.
Oh, you're like
Modern
the...
Warfare 3 was the co-op one, wasn't it?
Two
No, two
started.
No,
as
they had
well.
it in 2. No,
Oh,
I
really?
okay, yeah.
Fuck, I don't remember.
I'm
It was
trying to
just like
remember. Spec Ops.
so long.
What was
Spec
it called?
Yeah,
Ops.
Spec
Spec
Ops.
Ops.
Oh, that was 3.
No, it was
Well,
2.
two
You,
did
you
it.
took on hordes of
It's-
enemies.
It started in no. Spec Ops
I'm pretty sure it was
started in
3.
COD 6, Modern Warfare 2, where you and a buddy ran through missions. Modern Warfare 3 had the endless waves where you fought
That's
shit.
okay.
Mhm.
That was I played the co-op on Modern Warfare 3. It was so fucking fun. That fucking horde mode and like the French level, so fucking fun, dude. I love that fucking game.
Playing that in your dorm room in college.
Yeah, me and my quad. It was literally me and fucking 3 of my fucking roommates. We played that shit until like fucking 4 in the morning, and everyone
Whatever
fucking
happened
hated
to the
Kyle
us.
Fern
days
Crit.
of split screen co-op?
It's gone. It's because they want everyone to buy the game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking bullshit.
Because they know, like, well, fucking plebs are gonna buy the game because they want to
Oh,
play
yeah.
it. Like,
fucking plebs, bro.
R.I.P. I'm a pleb. I'll get a game to play split screen or online with people.
Oh, good, because Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is coming out this month.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Kyle and I are getting that.
You have to remind me the day so I can buy it.
March 28th.
Did we
Okay.
talk about classes or anything?
No.
Dabomancer.
I think I want to be the paladin lead guy.
Ryan, did you guys even beat Borderlands 3?
No.
Don't talk to me
Oh,
or my son ever
dude.
again.
It's so good. I actually hadn't beaten it until I played with these guys, and it's
Yeah.
such a good fucking game. Like,
No,
honestly,
we're-
Borderlands 3 slaps.
We're most of the way through it. But
Get it done, dude. It's not that
Yeah.
hard. Like, just
We're
get
most
through.
of the- I know that.
I
twin
want to,
language.
but Kyle's like doing like stupid shit instead.
Wait, are you on PlayStation?
Yeah.
It's crossplay now, right?
I know it's
Yes.
crossplay.
Bro,
It is
fucking hop
crossplay.
on with me, Rachel, and fucking Joe and John. Can you? How many people can you have? 4?
4.
Fuck.
I've,
Well, I'll help you.
All right.
I've already beat it enough times. I'm good.
I was gonna
need
say
it
Joe
again.
already helped our plebe asses.
I
Like,
could probably,
Yeah,
I could probably
good.
play it one more time. I think.
I would literally burn down an orphanage to get that soundbite of us falling off the fucking cliff in that fucking.
Christian, damn.
Like, dude, it was. Ryan,
I mean-
and it was literally. I don't think I've laughed that hard playing online games in my whole life.
It was hysterical, yes.
Just like
Would I
thinking
burn
about it,
down
dude.
an orphanage?
Like just like thinking about it, it makes me fucking laugh. So we were
Anyway.
fucking on this mission.
Anyway,
We were on this mission.
Anywho,
Yeah, let's play D&D.
we
I'll
don't
tell you
need
later.
to- Yeah, we
it's
can.
D&D.
It was literally the best.
It was fun, yes.
We're making new memories, not reliving old ones. So
Totally real. Totally
just before the break, you guys had been talking with Briar for a little bit, kind of getting some clarification on some things from him about being in the priesthood, as well as kind of the implications of the interaction with Ginny. And you guys had all agreed to essentially form your own party with each other, saying like, hey, kind of the first official, not kind of, it is your guys' first official declaration of you guys uniting to take on a cause that's bigger than yourselves.
Both in the garden.
And Briar, he said he would talk. He would talk to the tanner, whoever he has to find some appropriate headwear for Char to keep her horns hidden. And you guys sit down and have yourselves a nice old lunch.
Alright.
It probably goes on for an hour. You guys are sitting and chatting, and Briar's he's kind of going over like the funnier stories of things he's had to settle for people in small towns here and there across the map of Camarilla. Because Camarilla is the name of the world. It is one continent. With
Pangea.
a very large ocean, yeah.
So large.
It's very large. And,
The more you
and then
know.
he had suggested that you guys go to by the end of lunch, Gregor still does not show up, and so you guys, he's looking around and like kind of trying to judge the time of day by looking out through the window he has, and he's like, well, I'm a little worried now. This is starting to get up there in level of concern. Why don't y'all check on Gregor, and hopefully Elizabeth has come back. You know, I'm wishing for the best here, but it's starting to get a little concerning for me. Why don't y'all go and talk to Gregor, and he starts picking up all your guys' bowls, and I'll go to town and I'll talk to a few people and get their thoughts, and maybe we can talk later about what the town wants to do with Cardi, now that you've so nobly offered to be our I don't know if there's a word for that.
Emissary.
Emissary.
Liaison.
Mercenaries.
All excellent words, yeah. Emissary.
I prefer the term royal guard, but
And there ain't no royalty here, cool. But emissary, I like that. Why don't y'all go on and get, and we'll pick this up later. Well, come on, get.
Let's go find Gregor.
Thank you.
Arkul stands up.
Yeah, so
We go to find Gregor.
you guys know where their houses are, right next to Janice's, and you guys are going through town. It's 1:30 in the day at this point, and you don't pass a lot of the townspeople. You guys know at this time of day, most people they're back in their own worlds, finishing up whatever work they have to do, and you guys pull up to Janice and Gregor's plots, and Janice, his house is still in construction. There's tools and materials laid out all over the place from the night prior, where you guys had talked to them and invited them over for lunch for this day. And you can see Gregor's door is open. He has he always had like a drink next to him whenever he was out rocking on his front porch, and there's a tall glass of tea, some kind of chilled beverage out front, and his front door is open, and you can kind of vaguely hear shouting coming from inside. It sounds like Gregor.
Like he's
Can
in
we make
trouble,
out
or
what
he's
the
shouting
shouts are?
at someone.
Make a perception check, Char or Felix.
Can we both and just
Can
use
we-
advantage
sure.
on one?
Sure.
All right,
Go
Rachel,
for it.
roll both.
Oh, are you sure?
Oh, 100,
Okay.
fucking 100%. Are you serious?
Okay.
No, both of you rolled. That's the
No.
advantage, and then
No,
Alright.
Rachel.
Christian gets a 1, Rachel gets a 20.
That's why I
with-
want her to roll both.
With advantage, it's a 12.
Shit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What was the other one, Rachel?
8.
You can definitely with
Wow.
12. I'll say that's not quite high enough to meet like you're outside a house trying to pick up what's going on, even when they're shouting. You can't really quite get that DC.
Right. Just hear the muffles.
You can 100% tell it's Gregor, and he's pissed. He's very pissed.
I'll head up there.
Rigurd, Rigurd's gonna bang on the door.
I
It's
walk up
Front
there.
door's open.
loud.
Yeah,
It's
walk in.
open.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to hit on it open, that's.
Well, like, we're gonna push it open and just like. Yeah, the camera.
Did anybody else see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
The camera.
I thought it was just me.
There's an earthquake
No,
at
that
John's
was-
house.
That was gnarly.
Oh!
I just wasn't expecting. Sorry.
Gregor, you okay?
So yeah, you guys, now that you're kind of entering the threshold, you can definitely hear Gregor berating. It's a berating kind of voice. How the hell could you possibly lose her this way? And you hear a big smack in the background.
Oh my god.
What if she had gotten
Like
hurt?
face smack?
A smack of some kind.
Oh.
Do we see what's going on, or we're just like still like
I bet
going through
he's
the
whooping on
corridor,
Janet.
rounding the hall?
You guys are at the
Probably
threshold.
Janice.
If you want to go inside, it won't take you very long to get inside.
Oh no, we're going inside.
Okay, then yeah, I'll say like kind of right after the smack, I feel like Rigurd would charge in first. And then
Yes.
probably
Of course.
Rigurd, and I think Char was second to the doorway.
Rigurd has no boundaries, so of course he's just fucking going it.
Yeah, so yeah, you definitely see Gregor. He's grill to grill with Janice, who you can see Janice has like tears down his face, and now he has a large red patch of skin on his an impact mark essentially. And Gregor's like shaking his cane at him, and how could you? And what he looks at Rigurd, and what the hell are you doing in here? And all five of you kind of show up. Get
So,
all of you. Go ahead.
I take it we can put two and two together that he has been hitting his son.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. If anything, you would have come in like after the smack.
Ooh. How old is Gregor again?
Let me check, because I always envision him older.
Because you said Kane, so it makes me think older man.
You told us, I think, 60s in episode 1.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah,
that's
he's
old.
60s. But he's got he's
so-
got a shaved head, and it's mostly gray with what you can see in kind of
Um,
spots of red, like ginger hair.
I'll go. Brian sent us. What's going on?
And he's looking at you guys, like looking at Janice. Tell him. And Janice he's like kind of, he's cowering at this point, and he's trying to look at you guys, but doesn't want to take his eyes off of Gregor for fear of being hit again.
Rigurd's getting in between that. Rigurd
I was just about to say,
is
yeah.
getting in between Gregor and fucking Janice.
Char is gonna go over and like put her arm around Janice too, like in like a nice, friendly, "I'm here for you" way.
Like you're shoulder to shoulder, or you're like in front of him.
Shoulder, like more like shoulder to shoulder, like Mike's side. Like
Okay.
she's gonna go around, like so he feels kind of more protected.
Char, you got him?
Yeah, we got him.
Okay. So, Rigurd's gonna look at Janice. Gonna be okay.
Oh
No, he's gonna
okay.
looking at Janice. It's gonna be okay. Gonna quickly turn around and then jump on Gregor.
Oh god.
So, to where his bare feet are just like on his hip bone, and then he's just like grabbing his fucking shirt in his face.
Yeah, make a
Yes.
make a grapple check or a athletics or acrobatics.
Oh
fuck.
my god. Okay, didn't see that coming.
The gang kills the townspeople.
He's shaking him. He's not attacking him.
No, I know.
No. 17.
Oh, well.
Yeah, he rolled an 11, and he's like, so you guys are.
Can I then grab Rigurd and be like, "Now, Rigurd, let's be civil about this."
No,
and try
I
and
am
pull him off.
like one hand on his shirt, just like, and then one hand smacking his hand away.
Well, Arkul, give me a strength check, not athletics, not acrobatics, just strength.
Straight up strength.
Strumpf.
1.
16.
Fuck!
Oh. Wrecked.
Rigurd, didn't you roll a 17?
Yeah.
Oh!
You're still taking that roll? Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I love how the didgeridoo music's playing right now.
because
Shit's lit.
is it?
It's hype, dude.
Oh, that's not a didgeridoo. That's his voice.
Oh, is that like some Mongolian throat singing ass shit?
Yeah.
That's
is,
fucking
yeah.
sick. It sounds like a didgeridoo.
It's a band called Sowulo. They're really
That's
good.
so cool.
Sowulo?
Yeah,
I'm
Sowulo, I think. They're really good.
I am
Anyway. Yeah, so
Well, I'm not shaking him. I'm just like
you're in his
face.
grill. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was more of like how much effort Arkul was really. Like, could he pull a rabid dog off of like a piece of meat? You know, like, and I don't think a 16 clears it.
Damn.
It was like, Rigurd can definitely. It's almost like the hold me back thing where Rigurd is he's got his mitts locked on Gregor, and Arkul, you're trying to pull him off, but he's just stuck to him. And Char, where is Felix standing? Because
He's in there. He's in the room.
Okay.
Just kind of watching.
I'll say the back three, Hadrian, Char, and Felix. You guys can hear Janice kind of in a whimper. I found her. She was covered in leaves and flowers, and I didn't know what to do, and I just ran. I ran back as fast as I could.
You found who?
My mother.
Where was she?
And you didn't grab her?
He's like, no, it.
Felix at Arkul, and then at the necklace, and then at Arkul.
I would like to be checking
I'll
her heart at some point in time.
I'll say for this at some point in time, I'll say at this particular instant, since he's wrangling Rigurd, he's not really able to see Felix making that. That's more of a subtle gesture.
I didn't know if the wrangling was done.
And Janice, he drops his hands, and you can see the fatigue in his expression, and he looks at Char. We've got to go back. You have to help her. I didn't know what else to do.
We'll go right now.
Yeah, can you show
We
us
want
the
to
way?
help her.
And he kind of gets up and he slips on the floor, and he just scurries. He doesn't shove. If anybody's in the doorway, Felix or Hadrian, he doesn't shove you guys out of the way, but he steps around you. Yeah.
Oh, Felix would let him go past if he walked through like that. Like, he gets it.
I immediately follow.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
He does too.
Yep.
And Rigurd, you're still face to face with Gregor, and he's shaking his cane at Janice. Now, get back! Get off me!
If he's shaking his cane at him, that's when I'm gonna actually like shake him.
Okay, I don't want to lose my headset here.
I yell at Rigurd. Bring him to Briar's. We'll meet you there.
Sounds like a plan.
I don't think we're going to Briar's. I think we're going to find Janice's mother.
We're gonna get her mother and then bring him to Briar's.
Okay.
I said
Anyway,
her mother, his
Rigurd,
mother.
let him go.
1 second. And then just like Rigurd's pissed at this point.
I wish I had those like little claw toys so I could like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Rigurd.
Listen here, you. That one there is of your blood. You're supposed to protect him, not hit him the way you were. You needed to learn how to treat your own better that way. And then he's
make an intimidation check. I'll give you advantage since you're
Oh
literally
shit!
fucking shaking him.
I was
Yeah.
literally. I was about to chime in on that. Fuck.
Oh, I'm so happy you gave me advantage. Intimidation, I get... Where is intimidation? Oh, I don't gain any. Okay, 19.
Yeah.
Chuckle.
Yeah, so we'll say kind of in the sweeping instant of Rigurd, he knows he got the message across, and he'll let go, and Arkul will he'll whip Rigurd out the door like a wet towel. And, so Rigurd, 110%, he can see. I'd say I was playing Soul Calibur 4 last night. He can see the fear in his eyes, and yeah.
No,
Rigurd let's go. The message has been delivered, and then Rigurd.
Felix is in awe.
If Arkul's throwing Rigurd out the door, he's just gonna look into the doorway real quick and just
yeah.
On his way, bye, bitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and I'll say you guys making your way out of town with Janice. He doesn't stop to talk or even look at anybody hardly. He's extraordinarily exhausted because you guys know that it is a walk to the garden house, and for him to say that he ran there, he's not in any better shape than you guys as a commoner would be.
How old is Janice again? He's
Janice is in his 20s.
Okay, 20s.
Yeah.
And as we're going, I would like to check Elizabeth's part.
Yeah, and
My
Janice,
necklace.
he looks like he's about 150 pounds dripping wet. And he's
dick.
Yeah, and he's tall, I'm sorry, no, he's not.
And he's in his 20s? Good lord.
Yeah.
Not everybody's jacked as fuck, John. Jeez.
They fucking should be.
So,
oh yeah, bro.
Cool. So, Arkul, we'll say on the run as he's checking this, trying to feel it as you're moving. It's very, very difficult to detect it, and if he were to stop and wait a minute, and really tune in,
Really fuck.
he can just faintly hear it.
That makes.
And then I'll shout, "She's alive, but maybe just barely. We gotta go."
All right, Rigurd switching to off-road mode and fucking all fours again.
Off-road. I am tired.
Not when
Felix
I
will
turn
dead
this
sprint.
into maximum overdrive.
I knew I should have gotten the turbo. Yeah, so Janice barely gets to the edge of Alanda Vale where the tree line picks up again, and he looks like he's about ready to pass out. He is overly exerted, he is overly exhausted, you can see his mind racing in 1,000 directions. And he's trying to tell you guys in this exhausted breath where he saw her, and he describes. You guys know that their plot is dug into a hill in kind of a horseshoe shape. He found his mother about 30 yards off, what would, for the sake of narrative, directly behind her shed.
Is it possible for me to just running by and pick him up and just keep going?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll say at your current strength levels, you'll move at half speed compared to the rest of the party, who is going at an accelerated pace.
Gotcha.
Did Briar take the flower when Felix offered it to him?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Okay, never mind.
Yes, he did.
Felix will see the exasperated Janice and be like, "Don't worry, we're gonna save her," and he's gonna conjure a non-pixelated minor illusion flower from the garden
It
in front of him.
He can't grab it or anything, but it appears.
No, he'll cast that and just keep running.
Okay. Yeah, it appears for just. Is there a distance? I can't remember. On what is it? Minor illusion? Or
I want to say it's 60 feet. Or no, I don't think it's a cantrip, dude. Like it's like
Minor
basic.
illusion
Like
might
it'll
be
probably
30.
like, flicker. Let me look real quick.
Yeah, because if you guys are like dashing your way,
It's just for like it's just like effect. You know what I mean? It's not like he wants it to stay there.
oh, I know. but-
Yeah, 30 feet range.
All right, so yeah, once he's out of 30 feet, it goes
Yeah.
away.
So did Arkul want
So
to
keep it as long as he can.
Yeah. Did Arkul want to stay with Janice?
If I'm gonna move at half speed, I'll just keep going.
Okay, yeah, and he's just with like the last of his breath, not in a dying way, but the last of the breath that he could mutter out. You can hear Arkul can hear him just say, "Hurry."
Dude.
So we'll say, since you guys are not necessarily in adventuring shape here, you can move at a sped pace, with good pace, and
All over the place.
Yeah.
Ryan, I'm
Like
trying to
that.
say face.
God, stop.
Come on, guys, let's join the race.
No, stop.
Rachel, it's not in bad taste.
Hey guys, we're about to roll some dice.
No, you're out of the
I had to
group.
kill it. I had to kill it. I'm sorry.
Fish.
I had to kill
You
it.
just gotta get to the place.
Aw.
No.
Don't make any trace.
All right.
If we continue this, someone's gonna build a case against us.
A case?
You're gonna say
Case.
case.
I mean, we do have a paladin. Hey, Arkul, where's your mace?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Yeah! I fucking hate it! No! Anywho,
It was
is
staged.
Rigurd able to get there a little faster since he's used to the forest? But
Of course, because Rigurd's so fast.
yeah, he's also in off-road mode.
He's
well,
in
out
four-wheeler
front, I
mode,
mean,
dude.
you guys all have
Sport mode.
30 feet of movement, I think, except I think you guys all have 30.
Yeah, I've got 30.
Yeah, mine's the E.
Yeah,
know.
just for the sake of keeping the party together, you guys move at a uniform pace with Rigurd assuredly leading the pack.
Oh, I don't think so. My dex and strength are 13.
But what's your movement speed?
I don't know.
Yeah, you guys definitely move together as a unit and make your way there, and we'll say about make time and a half, so just under an hour is when you guys will get there. Rigurd, give me a survival check. Actually, make an investigation.
Ah, fuck!
Oh no. Oh no.
Natural 20?
Oh no.
Someone else gets to do this. So it's not natural, but it's a 1.
No.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
This fits.
you guys are following Rigurd up to the garden house, where you guys have been here a couple times now at this point earlier today, and Rigurd he's like, wait, I think I found something, and he goes right over and he's like, there's something right here, and it's where Heath was standing at one point. He got the scent of the dragon.
Oh my god.
And we'll say Arkul comes up, and you guys are all winded at this point. This was quite a trek, and Arkul, if you want to, since he knows the direction of where she is.
You're good. She was over here. Where are you going? She was over this way. Follow me.
Oh, if you pointed, I'm going. I'm going that way.
Follow me.
There's no following. I'm already ahead.
About 30 yards. What did he say? 30 yards south of the shed?
North.
Okay. About 30 yards north of the shed.
I'm just gonna keep going because I don't know what 30 yards is. So I'm just gonna
Yeah,
keep on
you guys.
going.
Yeah. So, in terms of like time of the day, it's about 3-ish, 3 to 4. So sun is starting to make its descent.
Oh shit.
And the 5 of you
All right.
do come upon this scene where now, Elizabeth was the first person any of you have even met outside of your homes. And you come upon this scene where you guys have been in the forest before. There's a lot of bushes and shrubbery along the floor. A lot of the trees are very packed tightly together. And you come across this clearing where there's this lush grass in about a 20-foot radius, so 40 feet across. There's this lush grass in a 40-foot diameter, and there is a ring of trees around it, each one in tall standing and with bushy leaves, just lightly billowing in the breeze that there is. And you guys can see her. She is laying down with her hands over the center of her chest, and she is laid amongst flowers and petals with twisted branches laid out around her. And yeah,
is it safe to say that it looks like someone put her there, like placed her there, like arms crossed and this is a whole scene. Like,
it's hard to tell.
It should be.
Oh, the fucking music, dude.
It keeps switching to like
Every
match
time
it.
it switches, it's like literally, it's always perfect. Like the vibes are there. So cool.
Walk up to the area she's laying and like have a look around.
So will Felix.
Anything of note?
So yeah, you guys are going around checking for anything really, and you guys can see just from walking through this grass, which is 4 to 5 inches long. You leave very visible footsteps as you're traveling along. The grass bends under the weight of your steps and leaves that.
Do we see any footprints that were already there?
You do not see any, other than your own.
Can Rigurd go up to the body, go up to her, and then using his dagger, put the blade under her nose and checking for like a breath?
So as Rigurd goes up to her, now that you're very close, you can see that there are there are vines that have grown over her, and some of them, it's hard to tell if they're growing into her or if they're growing from her.
Shit.
And he can see some vinery it's come up to her neck, and he kind of loses where it goes. And he's, freaked out a little bit, but for the narrative here, he does place his dagger, and just barely can he see breathing coming on in her. And looking at her chest is moving. She's taking very, very shallow breaths.
What's happening to her?
Char is gonna turn to Janice.
You guys left Janice back in town.
Oh, we left him behind?
Yeah. He was exhausted.
Can I ask him a question?
I thought Arkul was carrying him with.
Yeah.
No, I decided not to, so I didn't go half speed.
So,
he didn't want to be half.
We can RP that, since that would have been the last thing that you guys saw Arkul doing, and Arkul rolls up behind you guys without him.
Alright, well, I mean, as Rigurd's checking the breath, he'll look back at everyone like, well, she's still breathing.
What happened to her?
Just.
Well, my best guess is that she made a deal with a forest spirit. But I don't know. We'll have to talk to some of the trees nearby and find out.
I've never seen anything like this before.
And he pokes one of the vines, whatever, if it's near to her or on her, whatever. He pokes a vine.
Yeah, it doesn't move or react. It just has a dainty little indent where he poked it.
You're saying she's alive, Rigurd?
Yes, you can see her breath on the dagger.
He stares at dagger breath.
It can
Is she
be seen.
holding anything
What?
She's
in her
not.
hands?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
How do we get her out of here?
I
Well,
will
just-
say for Arkul at this moment. The very, very brief, if you even want to call it a conversation, kind of comes back to him of when she said, "Don't look for me." He can assess and assemble that this may have been why.
This must be why she said not to look for her.
Can't
Is
just
she-
leave her here, so someone help me cut her out.
No, don't mess with it.
I don't think that would be wise.
Right, because
It definitely
we could...
seems as if this is.
I mean, he looks at like the placed leaves, like, you know what I mean. It's very obviously
The
like
the closest
set up.
imagery, the closest
Yeah.
imagery that would probably be pretty readily available just from pop culture is from Hunger Games when Rue died and
oh hell yeah.
and Katniss made her that.
Oh yeah, dead girl.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Not dead.
So he'll just be like,
It definitely seems as if she intended for this, or whoever put her here intended for this. I don't think that slicing the vines is going to be very fruitful.
We don't
I'd like
want to
to just-
anger anybody by cutting
I'm not
through the
sure what to
vine.
do in this situation. I've never really encountered this before.
I'd like to put my hand on her, my hand on her hand, and just mumble under my breath, Bahamut, please spare this one. Bring her back so that she may finish her journey.
So I will say at this moment, did Arkul, he whispered that?
Just kind of under my breath.
Okay. I will say the rest of you did not hear that. And Char,
Right there. What the shit?
well, if he's whispering,
I say Rigurd might hear it because he's right next to the body too, but
I don't
I'll
think
give him that
Felix
one.
would, because he's poking vines.
Fucking vines.
at that moment, a swift breeze is carried through the leaves of the trees, and Char her ears kind of perk up for a second, and she's heard the sounds of the forest for most of her life, and in 1,000 different ways, in 100 nights. But it's never arrayed itself in a way where she thought she could understand it, as though it were trying to say something. And kind of in this breeze, as the trees rustle and the circadian rhythms of the insects around kind of, they chirp and they wane and they wax with the breeze, she can almost make out this feeling of something speaking to her. It's very short and very quick. All she hears is,
Fuck.
"Protect the blooming flower, young sapling. It is nearly time."
Holy fuck.
She's gonna be like, huh,
What?
Okay, I was right. Everybody, I was right. The trees and the wind talk here too. Okay, well,
What do you mean? I didn't hear anything.
Char,
Mally has her little
It's just the
flower and is
wind.
fanning Char.
okay. Did anybody else hear the wind and the leaves talk to them?
no, it was
Felix
just
looks
wind.
down at his dagger and says,
Was that you?
and then nothing comes back, and he's like,
No, sorry, I didn't hear it.
Okay, well, you guys, you have to promise that you trust me when I tell you that I heard it talk and it said that this is supposed to be happening and we have to protect her from whatever may come to attack her. So I think we should set up camp overnight and make sure that she survives the night.
So she's definitely alive?
They didn't specify, but maybe. Apparently there's something going on here that's greater than us. I don't question the forest gods, I just listen.
Definitely sounds
Very
like a
well.
noble cause.
I mean, if everybody's
guess.
okay, we can just, set up watches and, hopefully nothing attacks her overnight.
I would hate for something to happen to her.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
Okay. Wow, I can't believe. Wow. That was nice. Thank you, forest spirits.
And Mally,
This isn't the first time that's happened, has it?
No, but not
The
this
forest
forest.
speaks to you?
Yeah, this one hadn't before. This one just did. I'm excited.
I'm kind of jealous. I keep trying to talk to things in my brain and it doesn't work.
He looks down at his dagger.
Well, maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Mally hops out of the pocket and kind of like into the grass. And you can see grass kind of like wiggling along where you see her going. And then you can see it like trying to jiggle, and then you can see her coming back. And she has these two little sticks, and she just is like puts them down.
This one's right. I'll make a fire. I'll go into the forest and grab all the downed branches and bark and etc. that I can.
Yeah. So, you guys have decided to stay for the night. I will
I'll
say,
watch for Janice.
just for the sake of time of the session that I have left, and for what's going to happen here, we'll skip ahead a few hours here. So you guys prepare a little campsite and keep an eye on Elizabeth to make sure nothing's going awry. And I'll say, if you guys routinely check on her, you can see the vines. You can't see them growing or moving, but if there are extended periods between when you extended periods between when you check on her, there are noticeable changes in the vinery and how it's growing over her continually.
Yeah.
I'm continuously checking on her heart since we're waiting around.
Yeah, it does not get any stronger.
Yeah, I'm just kind of continuing to check just on her in general when I'm up through the night.
So it.
Do you need us to establish a watch schedule since we're time skipping?
No. Well, you guys can decide amongst yourselves if that's something you would want to do, but nothing would happen in those hours.
We're gonna
okay.
pretty much just be up
But you
No,
guys
he's
are-
lying. We all get attacked.
But you're on duty, yeah.
Yeah.
Rigurd will pretty much get up every couple minutes, every hour to check the surroundings, stoke the fire, back to bed, rinse, repeat.
So as the night progresses and the sun makes its final descent for the day, you guys can see the dark, starry night start to come out. And around, what was this, about 3 o'clock? Probably around 7 is when Janice would come kind of lumbering out of the forest, and Arkul would see him first for sure. And he's can't even look at her. And he's got his arm up on Arkul, and he doesn't know what to even do. He's like, do you have any idea?
She's still
wait.
alive, but we need to wait. According to Char,
Wait for
she
what?
was told. We don't know, unfortunately. Char was not given enough information. Apparently, she can talk to the trees, and trees told her that we have to wait. So that is what we're doing. We will protect your mother while we're here.
Felix trying to reassure Janice. He doesn't know what's going to happen or really the full extent of what's going on. He'll just say, "Your mom's going to be fine." And then he'll snap a digitized or a really pixelated face of his mom.
Oh my god!
She'll be fine.
Like 2D 8-bit.
It's a
It's just
monster!
like
Kill it!
Nintendo Entertainment System looking ass pixels.
Yeah, Janice is not enthused in the least. Did she say anything?
No, unfortunately, she was in the ground. The vines have been covering her since we've gotten here. Slowly but surely.
But
But she's
Char
still
did
alive.
get a message from the forest saying that she needs to be protected.
I don't understand.
Neither do I, but we should definitely listen if the forest is telling us to protect her.
Well, and since you're here, do you know anything about this necklace? And I show the necklace.
Yeah.
Oh!
I've never seen it before. No.
Your mother gave it to me when we first arrived after we'd helped around the town. Mentioned to me not to follow her, but apparently it allows us to feel their heartbeats of anyone that I know or you know, as long as you're attuned to it.
While Felix overhears this, can he see if she has a necklace on that looks the same as Arkul's? If it's possible without the I don't know if the vines are covering it or not, but he wants to see if she has any sort of chain around her neck or any sort of necklace.
No, she is not wearing any jewelry.
Okay, got it.
She's wearing her wedding ring.
Oh.
But it's at the point where the vinery is growing over her.
Oh no.
I've been checking on her, and her heart's still beating. It's faint, but she's still alive.
What, you didn't tell us?
We've been trying to approach this topic for a while now. We were going to tell you at lunch.
Oh, well, how'd that work out?
Yeah, you tell me. She's still alive. We just have to wait.
And Janice just walks off.
Don't go too far.
He picks a tree and
That hurts.
He picks a tree around the ring and just
beat. His mom's dying. God damn. Fucking Janice. I feel bad for him. Fuck. You weren't kidding, Kriv. This is a deep one.
Thank you.
God damn.
Just wait, it's not over yet.
Oh, you make me feel feelings.
Stop!
So as the night progresses, and Janice, he doesn't move from his tree. You guys he may even fall asleep at some point. Char and Felix, I'll say, since Char for reasons she doesn't know, Felix for a reason he does know, since he is a moon elf clan. It is the 10th is the night of a new moon.
Yeah, hot. So hot. Character perk, I know the fucking moon cycle. I'm like a fucking white girl. Do you know when the moon's in Pisces?
Anyway,
right now.
Any hoodles.
So as you guys are sitting around for the night, just waiting for something to happen, it takes, for you guys, it feels like a very long time because you're sitting around and waiting for anything. And that night, it feels like it would be around sort of 11 p.m. when the new moon would be in the sky. There is a distinguishable change in the atmosphere, in the atmospheric pressure. And I'll say Mally is probably the first to be kind of alerted to it, where you guys, we'll say for the sake of things, you guys are in a circle around your fire, not more than 20 feet away. And you cleared out a patch of grass, so you're not going to light the whole fucking forest on fire. Rigurd.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Lol.
Mally, she's kind of the first, like, where her ears perk up and she looks over at where Elizabeth is. And if Arkul is, I think you said you were going to maintain the check on her.
Yeah.
Okay. Around 11, he can feel it hasten and quicken. And you can see her chest inflating and deflating as her breathing is becoming more labored. Before it appears to stop for a moment. And this is where you guys can see...
Oh, the music.
This is where you guys can see different budding of flowers around her start to open and bloom.
Why is music like this
above the stamen of each of the plants, there is just a soft glow emitting from the flowers. They extend outwards in four long petals in a direction. And that soft glow kind of illuminates around her as the vines, now you guys can definitely see them moving. As flowers, they bud closer and closer towards her. And over the vines, they start to grow and bud until she takes a final breath. Char would notice this for sure. When she takes her final breath, her eyes shoot open, and there's almost a lunar silver glow that completely takes over her eyes. So you guys know Char, her eyes are completely gilded over. And for Elizabeth, it has that same complete coverage, but hers are kind of a lunar silver. And as she takes that final breath, the final tendrils of the vines cover her, and the flowers completely obscure her body. And all you see is the bed of flowers deflate. And
holy fuck.
There is immediate silence in the forest. All of the insects stop their rhythms and their chirping. The breeze in the branches completely stops. You guys are miles away from town and you can't hear a thing from them. Not a twig falls out of place. And you hear this shriek of pain from Janus as he runs over to this pile of flowers that are still glowing and they're still beautiful in their way. Tears are streaming down his face and he's trying to dig through the flowers. And Miss Char, rising from this pile, completely not at all disturbing the flowers or anything around, and what appears to be completely undetectable by Janus. If Rachel, if you remember from session 0, the scaled creature that you saw.
Yes.
I'll describe it for the sake of the stream, but none of my PCs here, other than Char, are able to see this. It is this hulking, white-shelled, insect-looking creature with extraordinarily broad shoulders coming to sort of a kind of tapered in at the hips, and it has massive white shell extensions around its shoulders that cover most of its body. And Char can see this thing rising kind of at a slow pace from the pile, from the bed of flowers. And it has two smaller arms. You can't really see where I'm pointing, but around its waist it has two smaller arms, as well as massive kind of arms that kind of come to pincers. And you can see it kind of just working them as though it's trying to adjust to this form. And one will move, it'll look over to that one, another will move, and then it'll look over. And it looks at Janus for a moment, and Charkin has this detection of sort of a somber tone. And it looks up, scans the forest, scans the sky, and the insects start to come back in, and the breeze through the branches. And it looks over, and it locks eyes with you, Char. And it gets 1 foot out of the ground, and it kind of starts to claw, and you can see behind it, whoosh, out of the ground. You remember the scythe that thing carried. It has a massive kind of, in the same coloration and texture and hardness of the shell that it has, is the blade of this malformed scythe. And it's just kind of one leg awkwardly stumbling, but it's coming directly at Char.
All right. None of us see this, correct? Do we see like the leaves moving, or
it does not disturb a thing.
Oh god.
You guys are enveloped in the painful cries coming from Janus at this moment. And so in the event like anyone would move towards Janus to comfort him or anything in that direction, the creature would knowingly move around them, as though in their own nature this creature kind of has an understanding of how the ebbs and tides of nature itself move, and it moves with it.
She is going to do a little curtsy and say, "Hello, Mr. Forest Spirit. Welcome to this world."
So for whoever is next to Char, if you're able to pull yourselves away from Janice, and if you were to look at Char, her eyes would have a which none of you would have seen her eyes, only Char would have seen it. Her eyes would have a faint glow of silver to them. And Char, this creature does not break stride. It continues to sort of stumble towards you, and it raises its scythe up very high over its head, and it continues to make its way towards her.
So Char has the moonlight glow in her eyes?
Mm.
Would Felix recognize that from anything in his village? Any sort of ritual, any sort of anything in the lore?
Nothing he's
or in
ever
the culture?
seen.
Oh, I have to pee really bad too, by the way. I don't know if you guys have to pee. I have to pee so bad.
So,
Char, what are you
Rigurd
talking
wanted-
about?
I'm about to go to the bathroom and keep you guys on audio, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
You don't see the giant forest spirit? I don't think you mean to hurt me, Mr. Forest Spirit. We're not here to hurt you.
God, we don't see anything. What are you looking at?
He's right there. He's giant, he's white. He just came out of Elizabeth.
What do you mean came out of Elizabeth?
You didn't see him come from the flowers?
Char, we can't see anything.
We can see him. Can Mally see him? I assume she kind of
Oh, I
has
swear.
my same, like...
I'll.
Since she came from Wonderland, I assume she kind of has magical...
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I'd leave that up to Char or Rachel.
Yeah. I think, like, since she came from Wonderland, like, she has her own set of magical things. Like,
Sure, yeah.
she could see it.
Yeah, Mally is, she is tucked in your pocket, and you can only see her eyes and I guess her nose, like, kind of peeking out of the pocket. And you can
We
feel
can
a little
see 'em.
tremor.
Well, I guess maybe the forest spirit's a girl. I don't know.
And the creature does not break stride, and you guys are only 20 feet away from where Elizabeth was at this point. And so, to the rest of you, you hear this sharp cut of wind go across the branches above you. And from what Char sees, the creature comes over and it rears its arm back and whoosh, it cuts straight across, very far overhead, because it's quite a bit taller than she is. So where it swings the scythe, and then it takes a more relaxed position. If anybody were alerted to the sound, or if they were to look up, a single oak leaf and acorn fall directly overhead, and either if Char notices it, she can put her hand out, or it'll land just on the back of her wrist. A single green leaf and brown oak acorn.
I was gonna say
Let
she
Mally
was gonna
catch
try,
it.
Yeah, she was gonna try and like reach her hand out to him. So whichever way, it doesn't matter. But
That
yes.
works perfect. Yeah, so we'll say she was going to extend her hand towards this thing, and just the single leaf lands gently and effortlessly into the palm of her hand.
Oh, thank you, Forest Spirit. I appreciate this gift.
And
Does it still not say anything?
again, the breeze rolls by, and in a tone that Char feels this warmth of this warm motherly tone, which she felt, I would say, more with. It felt more genuine than with Elizabeth than maybe what she had ever felt with the White Queen, certainly the Red Queen. And she can. Elizabeth is now part of that nature, that voice that calls. And she just hears, "Thank you, young sapling. I wish you the resilience of the oak and the magnitude of the sequoia. And it looks off very slowly into beyond the forest line, where even though you guys, it is night and it is a new moon, and you guys do have a fire going, there is, on the opposite end of the circle where you guys are, is just a curtain of blackness in the forest beyond Ilonda Vale. And the creature looks that way, and it has like one final nod to Char and Mally. And it begins like continuing its sort of awkward, misshaped lumbering towards the Veil of Darkness.
She'll nod back and she'll kind of do a wave as he leaves, or she, and be like, "Thank you again, Forest Spirit. I hope to see you sometime in the future."
And as the, you guys would not know this, but to tie the narrative piece together, as the creature goes beyond the veil of black, Char's eyes return to their golden shimmer, and Mally is in your pocket, like you saw that too, right?
Yeah. And I look down at her and I'm like, wow, we really have seen some things, haven't we?
Char, would you mind explaining what just happened?
Oh. Nobody saw him? Or her, I guess. I didn't really figure it out. It was a giant, like, insect god, forest spirit. He had a giant scythe and he cut me this little acorn. How nice.
Felix is trying to console Janice this whole time.
Aw.
Rigurd's there too.
He's in absolute shambles.
Can I even feel the heart anymore?
No.
Char is gonna walk up to Janice and kind of like try and put her arm around him again and be like, "Janice, I want to know, I had one final word from your mother right before she went into the forest spirit's loving arms."
And he's on his knees, like weeping into his hands at this point.
Yeah.
He's not acknowledging any of the things you guys are saying, but he's not he's not fighting you guys off.
Yeah. Well, she's just gonna kind of sit there for a second until maybe he does kind of come to, like, her just kind of, at this point she's kind of like gently talking to him, like, I've got, some words from your mom if you'd like to hear that. Like, she's just kind of like trying to talk him into, like, bring him back into the world,
Yeah, if anything, he'll just look up at the sky, and with his cheek is still red, his other cheek is flushed a little bit too, his eyes are beet red, and he has nothing to say. He's looking down. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear me when I look that way. He's
No, we
looking
can't
down
hear you.
and just with no energy looks up at Char.
And she's gonna pull out, because she's got multiple pockets, a little, like, handkerchief tissue thing, and kind of dab at his eyes for him, and then put it in his hands and hold his hands. And then she's gonna say, "We were able to hear a couple last words of your mother right before she went into the forest spirit's arms. She is now part of the nature, and she loved the garden that she had, so now she's truly one with nature and a part of it, and she did this herself. This wasn't something that was put on her. This was something truly magical that only certain people are chosen for, and your mother was one of those. And she always loved you." And I didn't get much more from her, but that was basically that she wanted you to know that she was at peace with her decision, and she loved you, and now she's a part of this nature that she loved, her flowers and her garden.
And he looks up again, like lower lip trembling. Why didn't she say anything? To me.
sometimes the forest spirits work in weird ways. I'm sure what you can do, what I do, is just come and sit every once in a while in the forest and just talk to it, and it'll talk back. And since she's here, she's now part of all this nature, you can visit her all the time and just start talking to her, and I'm sure the forest spirit will help her voice get to you one day. Some people are just more open to it, and I've talked to the flowers and the trees and the forest my whole life. I mean, heck, I talk to Mally and Mally talks back, but no one else can hear her. So maybe you just gotta, work on your connection with the forest spirits.
I just want to be left alone.
Okay,
and
well...
he'll, kind of... Sorry, I was trying to whip up the tears for him. He'll kind of slowly crawl his way over to the flower bed and whoosh, crash into the petals. And before you guys know it, he is actually just out.
Okay. Well, Char's gonna turn to the rest of the party. Well, that was exciting. I think we should definitely watch over him, though. I don't think we should leave him here.
I told him his mom would be okay.
And Felix is fucking shattered, dude. He's never seen anyone die before. This is the most epic death that could ever happen. He's never seen anyone die.
Whips out a second handkerchief.
And now yeah, dude, this is a lot for him.
Mally is she's tucked away in the pocket, but she has one of those small packs of Kleenexes. And she has her little paw on one ready for Char to reach.
Be like, haha.
Yeah.
Kriv, I don't know if you could see. I literally was crying during that whole fucking thing, dude. Straight up. Holy shit, that was hardcore.
But she's gonna pass Felix another handkerchief tissue. But she is okay. We didn't lie to him. She is okay. She's just in a different form now. She's part of the forest spirits.
I guess it's just hard for me to understand because, I don't know, I've never experienced, a family member going away like that.
And then he thinks to his family and where they're at, and he's like,
if you really think about it, we're all just kind of alone all the time.
I actually have to disagree with you. As long as your family cares for you, as long as you care for them, those ties are damn hard to break.
Hopefully so.
No matter the distance, no matter what plane of existence you're on.
I've known you guys for 2 days, but I feel like I can trust you with a lot of different things. Really trusted anyone with.
kind of smile through the tears.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah. We're all here for you. And,
Well,
while this is sad, at the same time...
I think we should be here for Janice.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, Kriv, you got me on the fucking emotional level today.
Does Arkul or Hadrian interject with anything?
Fuck.
Yeah, Janice, I know it won't mean much to you, but...
Janice has passed out at this point.
Oh, damn. Then never mind. I can't be cool anymore. Nope,
cool.
Not gonna...
Say shit to us.
Well, if he's passed out, I'll still do it anyway, but, I'll give him a dragonborn, I'll give her a dragonborn salute, which is normally used for
This
those
fucking
that
song.
have passed on,
Bro, are you fucking kidding?
and just a way for us to
Song,
say
man.
goodbye one last time. And, I lift my head up, and you see just a little bit of glow coming up my throat, and I use my breath weapon in the air.
Holy fuck.
How beautiful.
Yeah, you
Felix
guys can-
casts a crescent moon above the flame. Minor illusion.
Yeah, you
The
guys
silvery glow from Char's eyes.
are
That
cool.
color.
You guys can see the illumination and the glow start charging up from beneath the scales. And you guys are all right next to him, so the heat of the blast is certainly alarming and is very prominent, especially against the juxtaposition of the cool night air that once was. As in a cool, it's a 15-foot cone?
Yes, I believe so. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, 15-foot cone.
Yeah, okay. And I think it's at like a 90-degree breadth. So yeah, you guys. Has Arkul used that yet?
No, I've never used it
it's
yet.
the first
I don't
time.
think so.
This is the first time I've used it
So,
for this.
yeah, right. So you guys are witnessing this immense explosion of power and fury emit
Dude,
from
this
this
is great.
dragonborn, and Felix he has the soft glow from his crescent moon on his forehead, and as the fire kind of extinguishes and the smoke rises and clears out of the way, Felix just has the soft glowing crescent moon that matches the one on his forehead.
May she be laid to rest. And I just sit down in the grass and start praying to Bahamut.
Is there anything Hadrian would say?
Big
No,
cry
he would
tears
just
right
look
now.
stoically at the ground.
One more time, Kern.
He would just be looking stoically, like, at the ground where she rose from.
Okay.
Even though he knew that he didn't see anything, but, like, he knew that's where she was.
Right. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
Are you
No,
fucking
no, wait.
kidding?
Wait! One more thing!
Sorry, go ahead, Rigurd.
So as we're all kind of resting for the night and watching over Janice, we're gonna go up to Felix. I take it Felix is sitting down or something.
He's got his crescent moon in the sky. In memoriam.
Felix, take a knee.
What is it?
I've known you longer than everyone else in this party. But what you said really stuck with me, and I just want you to know that you're never alone. And so he's gonna take the dagger and slice his palm real quick. And he's gonna run his thumb through the blood. Let me see the back of your hand.
Hey man, I don't really swing that way, but
Just
what?
just let me see.
All right.
And he puts out his hand.
And so, with the blood, he's gonna draw that symbol on the back of your hand.
Oh. Fuck!
John, those
Yeah?
like the I don't want to call them prongs, but like which way does it face for Felix? Like, is it prong?
So it's as his hand is up like this. If he's holding at it and looking at it, it's gonna be
Just put the
facing like
card.
that. So it's gonna be
Put the card. Okay.
that.
Okay,
So,
well,
like, you
hand
can- you
tat
can-
in the
you
future.
can look at it and see it.
Felix?
It's not a tattoo, so it can come off. It's just
No, Felix he'll regrettably pull out his own dagger, not as intensely slice his fucking palm as Rigurd would. He'll kind of just like poke, like as much as he could, like in the palm of his hand, just like right here.
For record,
He'll poke
keeping,
it.
Rigurd
Yeah.
takes 3, and Felix takes 2.
All right, he'll take 2 piercing damage. He'll use his dagger that he talks to and poke his palm, and I guess while he's holding like the rune of whatever Rigurd drew on his finger, he'll take the other hand and draw a crescent moon on Rigurd's hand.
I guess it's
Thank you.
a little bit more deep than we thought it was gonna be.
Just
And he looks to the mom like,
I've never seen anything like this before.
that's it's the character in my people's tongue for companionship.
Wow.
Can you say that one more time, John?
Yeah, it's the in my people's tongue, it's the rune for companionship.
You know, in my village, unfortunately, they call goblins snot skins or booger skins or anything under the sun. But, you know, you've kind of changed my tune about goblins. I never really had any hatred for them, but now I kind of know that people are just based on what they do. And the moon, obviously, is my clan. We have a legend in the moon. So I guess we're kind of united now. Goblin and moon elf. Both in the garden. Bitch.
and he'll.
And
I don't know if they're gonna like blood brothers like handshake it, but
No,
I mean, he'll.
no.
I don't know.
It's just
Yeah, he's just
doesn't
gonna
have
keep
any
it.
ink, and that's just ritual.
Yeah, he'll keep it on his hand and will do everything he can in his power to not wash that off because he wants it on his hand because he's like, fuck yeah, dude, got companions. God damn, what an emotional sesh.
Oh,
Fuck! Damn it, Kriv. I was weepy as
Uh,
fuck.
So we'll end the session there. We'll let you guys sit on that one for 2 weeks, and
God damn it.
I'll ask at the top of next session if there was anything maybe you guys wanted to say, maybe before the morning. But for next session, we'll plan on beginning on the morning of that Friday, the 11th. Good set. And I mean, I was pretty floored by everybody tonight. I'll say team inspiration on this one. Everybody gets one.
Hell yeah.
I'll grant that for y'all.
inspiration.
I don't know how much
Wow.
I put down in there.
So with that, if there are anybody sitting by and watching the stream, I hope you enjoyed. I was crying real tears.
Dude, that was real.
So
That was real tears.
I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you with this particular group in 2 weeks, and next week for group 1. See you next time.
Oh my God,
Best
look at
stream.
that.
Stormcraft Woodworks, baby.